Right, when the cat's away, the mouse will play. We're on page 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we're on page 4. And what I'm doing now is, they've ended up in this laboratory, and I've even added a line. Say, what is this place? Some kind of lab. That was a new line I just put in. But to make it look like a laboratory, what do we got to do? Well, we got to make equipment, or things that look like technology. This, and I've mentioned this before, but in case you're a first-time visitor to this channel, is something I call greeblies. Greeblies is a term that they made up when they were doing the Star Wars movie. It's not part of the Star Wars universe, but like when they were designing the ships, they were cobbling them together out of other models, So, in order to take like a World War II tank model and turn it into a science fiction ship of some kind, you had to add little bits and pieces to it, right? You had to add little technological things to the model surface to make it, or for example, if you ever look at the surface of the Death Star, and they call that adding greeblies to it. So for example, if you look at the TIE fighter, it kind of suggests the front of a bomber, maybe even the ball turret gunner, something like that. And if you ever looked at the surface of the Death Star, it's just full of like little areas that just don't make any sense. You look at them, it's just, there's all kinds of towers and protrusions and things that look vaguely technology oriented. But do you really know what they are? Of course not. The same is true of the Millennium Falcon. We don't know what that stuff is, it's just greeblies. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm adding greeblies to these panels, because all they are is just a straight set of squares when you look at them. And by adding boxes and dials and what might be, I don't know, something. We make it look like it's more plausibly technology. But I also have to somehow figure out what to do with the text I have up here. So that's got to get taken care of. I've also, the person who was really good at doing this, of course, was Jack Kirby. Could make anything look like high technology, like amazing technology. Like if you ever saw the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards designing some kind of thing in the lab. It often had that look to it. Also, in the early run of the Hulk, when Kirby was doing the Hulk, and I know that we associate Kirby, I associate Kirby with the Hulk, right? The truth is, Kirby only did the Hulk for like the first 6 issues or so, or like that was the Hulk, right? And then that book got canceled, and then it comes back as another book. And this time it was either Marie Severin or even Ditko doing it. But like in that first run of the Hulk, when it's really much more like a monster comic with like a sort of Jekyll and Hyde monster comic, there's some alien that attacks, right? And the way that the Hulk defeats the alien is the alien has the power over all metal, right? So the Hulk builds a gun out of cardboard that looks realistic. Not Bruce Banner. I'm pretty sure it's the Hulk. Now I'm vaguely remembering this, but so he's not all dumb, and of course Rick Jones is so impressed by this, but the monster keeps trying to I will crush that gun in your hands. What? My power isn't working. What have you done? And of course, what he's done is he's made a gun that is made out of cardboard, and it's not even a real gun. That was the other trick to it. So, I mean, I guess you could kind of play that off as, well, it wasn't like he was creating a real gun. He was just creating a prop. But that's not like a tactic you would know the Hulk for, right? Maybe it was Bruce Banner that did that. Maybe somebody's gonna have to correct me. But in that comic, once again, the Greeblies. The Greeblies are everywhere. I love the Greeblies. Okay, looks like we have 3 vaguely computerized items here. And I'm degrading some of the line quality on some of it. Alright, so let's... I gotta fix some of this. Alright, I just got one more! And you notice I'm trying to make them all different, because when I started out, of course, I just had this sort of grid with some dividing lines, and then these might be vending machines for all I know. This might be like a snack machine. But I'll tell you what it is. It's Greeblies. So here we are making the Greeblies. These aren't even perfect circles. I need to get really templatey with this. Alright. Put that right in the middle. Okay. We can use our line weights to simulate different, different layers of three-dimensionality. For example, if we put a thick line weight around the top of it, then it seems like it's indented a little bit. In fact, we could even do another one around the bottom of this one. Almost looks like a CD-ROM drive or something. The super science of the Silver Age is not even as good as the real science of the 90s, but it's still super cool. In fact, it is way cooler in so many ways. If we wanted to do clever things like hide some secret messages in here, we could work them into the into our Greeblies if we wanted to. I'm erasing slightly into this line so then it looks like it's indented. Let's hide our signature in one of these. Maybe nobody will notice it. I'm going to shade in this area over here. Looks like the UPS truck just pulled up outside. Well, we'll find out what they have to say. Okay, let's do our speech balloons, which I haven't even started yet. How about that? Balloons, bubbles, bubbles. That's what I called them. I guess you could call it balloons too. Balloons, hun. Recent technical pen. All right, here's what gets said. Hold it, I hear something. That seems a little vague, no? What do you mean you hear something? All right, this one we want to have... We're hoping that it's read first. But if it's not read first, that seems a little vague, no. Hold it, I hear something. That works too, technically. Because it could be a continuation from what was said at the end of the last panel. What's up? All right, here we go. Always goes from a picture to a comic when you add the actual dialogue. So there we go. Boom. And then we're going to do the other one now. Now let's give it the boom. Perfect. Cut the turkey. All right. Nice. All right. So it is what it is, as I like to say. Let me get back to my other rusty nib. So this one we can get away with no background, because we did the background here. That's our establishing shot. We know where the characters are. We know what the context is. So now, if we want to, we don't have to leave a background out of the next panel. Or we could leave it where she's looking off into the distance. She's staring at whatever she heard. Now she has supernatural senses. Eventually I was thinking, Corbeau has no superpowers whatsoever. He's just a guy. I was thinking of getting him some kind of gadget that he has so he'll have the equivalent of better hearing in his helmet. He's got those earpieces. There's no reason why we wouldn't eventually do that, but I haven't set that adventure up yet. All right. One thing I don't like about this is it's way too low. No, there it is again, something in the shadows. I think I either have to reduce the art or move this again, and so maybe I should not have started on this right away. No, there it is again, something in the shadows. This is as close as I can get it, unless we move this. Oh, I'm running into a problem. Here's the problem. Both of these top lines belong to the guy on the left. I can drop from 14 point to 13 point. That might change things a little bit. It's already 13 point. Here we go. Here's our strategy. I don't hear anything. There it is again. Something in the shadows. Hers is the second bubble. We're going to position it so we're this bubble, this bubble, this bubble. And then this line over here comes from off stage. All right. Looking good. Inky. Or it basically runs around naked. Naked. But I'm going to have her strategically covered with this sort of plume of energy. Which connects up to the plume that, or it connects up to the ore coming off of her. Let's take off the layer. All right. I almost want to do... Let me get on my pencil layer again. What if I did like a hand... over this way? It kind of works, right? I think that might be a better move. So let's say we did that. There's her hand and her wrist. Very important. Okay. So when we pull this off, That's the beginning of something. We can even do focus lines if we needed to, and I'm still considering it. In this case, the focus lines would be signifying alertness or alarm. One thing I don't like is I don't know if I did his lenses very good here. Let's say if we take his lenses out, we can even black them out really. Alright, we might have our top row done. Or at least on the way to being done, right? Alright, let's go ahead and put our focus lines in just to see how that goes. Oops, come back here. We're going to put it... Here we go. La la la, right there. Done. Alright. Rusty nib. Once again, don't worry too hard about what's happening with our... what's happening with our speech bubbles. We think something good is happening. Okay, all that looks good. It's just a matter of erasing. Strategically. All the lines that you put in wrong. Okay. Take the pencils out for a second. Not bad. Our real problem right here is I don't have any shading on this figure, so let's go ahead and put that in. Oh, fuck. Oh, I did that whole thing on the other layer. Alright. Let's go ahead and knock out these speech bubbles and we'll call it a day, right? Come on now. I don't hear anything sidled up to No, there it is again. No, there it is again should be closer. So here's what we want to do. We want to make sure it goes ping, 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 right? So rather than putting it over to the right, we're going to put it to where it touches so that you can't help. You can't avoid going to this bubble next. And then this speech bubble is read last. We think. Even if it's read out of order, it's set up in such a way that it shouldn't matter too much. Like it shouldn't hurt it if it's read out of order. All right. All right. Not bad. All right, let us pray. 1, 2. Haha, I didn't get it. I see my problem though. My problem happened right over here. All right, let's give it a shot. 2. That worked. Now I got this problem area. So we're going to use this so that there is a very subtle overlap. This panel, this panel, this panel. Now, if you craft your dialogue in such a way that you put the least important thing said last and have it not necessarily super dependent on any of the previous clauses, you can get away with quite a lot. I'm looking at this and I'm not liking it. All right, what's wrong with it? What's wrong? I think it's that. And I think this has got a problem. All right. I'm looking at my shading too. I either need to go harder with the black, add more black areas, or back off of it entirely. I think we can Silver Surfer her up a little bit, make her a little bit more reflective. She is an energy being after all. This is looking okay. He looked a little bit too shoulder shruggy for a moment there. All right, let's call this a day. I think we got it over here. The upper lip should be shaded. Let's say that we did the first top row. We did the top row. So all we got left, we got a middle row. Let me bring the pencils back. Got a middle row, and I got 2 bottom panels. Please like, follow, and subscribe. There'll be comics every day. More of Le Corbeau. This is page 4.